Statute of limitations. What is a statute of limitations? What does that mean?
A time after which action cannot be taken over a particular issue.
Yeah. There are various statutes that apply. And frankly, the beginning of many lawsuits is we argue about which statute applies. It's 2 years for negligence that runs from the date of the breach. It's 6 years for contracts that runs from the date that we became aware of the breach of the contract. So if the roof doesn't leak this winter, but does maybe next winter, maybe the clock will start a year from now, or whenever we become aware of the injury.
The discovery.
Plus 6. But you shouldn't be worried about statutes of limitations. Forgot the 4 steps. We're done. Doesn't matter when they bring the lawsuit.
No, I'm just wondering when I can throw out all that paper.
Yeah, when can you throw it?
Storage.
Well, we put it on a disc.
What happens to the files?
He just said-
Don't we
he
keep
just
the
said,
files?
You know, the format, the disk
We
format
save it to a
disappeared.
disc.
Okay, we save the files to disk.
Yeah. For CD.
Is it CD? You know that CDs create errors spontaneously. That the data on CDs is not permanent. After 6 to 8 years, there's an error rate of over 50%, and the disk will not be readable.
I
So-
ran that CD.
Check out your IT guy. Unless you have a guarantee that the data is going to be preserved, don't count on it being there. That's why I like the field.
Well, that's why our other scans are gone. But that puts it on a.
Okay. I'm going to go around the room. Test time. What is the first step of the 4 steps to avoid claims? Step number 1. Well, what does the paper say?
Spot the issue.
Spot the issue. Step number 2, brother.
I need the issue.
Discuss with your PB.
Discuss with your PV. What are you going to discuss with your PV?
The issue.
Before the issue, facts. And then,
Develop a plan.
after the facts, okay, then the issue, then the plan of action. Right? Third step. Patty in the front.
Review with your client.
You make proper recommendations.
You talk to who? Talk to your client. And when you talk to your client, what do you tell them? Well, shouldn't you go through the facts first? Spot the issue? Then you make the recommendation. What's the other thing that you do? You ask for further instructions after you've spoken to their expert. That's key. It took me 7 years. I'm going over file after file. I've been litigating and defending realtors for 7 years, and finally dawns on me, why don't they ask the client for further instructions after they've spoken to their engineer? That would clear it up, because the client was always saying, oh, he didn't tell me. Well, I didn't know what to do. They're just, I don't care if you're representing a surgeon. They are all idiots when they sue you. They're helpless. They're like children. All right? So don't assume your sophisticated client is going to cut you slack.
We just had 2 attorneys that were clients, and they played so ignorant, it was unbelievable.
And they're,
Attorneys really don't with real estate.
that's right, I don't. And they're good actors. So just because it's an attorney, don't impute any more intelligence on them than you would a 7-year-old.
Okay, well, speaking about intelligence, you get a listing with some people, and they really don't, say they're elderly, and they really don't know too much.
Speaking of intelligence, you have a listing with older people, no names mentioned, right?
Yeah.
And they don't know much.
Right. And they really want you to do everything.
And they want you to do everything, so what do?
You're supposed to put it back on them, but they're incapable.
What if you have a client that doesn't speak English? No speaking. And they're deaf. No speaking, no hearing. You just had one. Okay, what else? Don't speak, can't hear. Let me guess. Makapo. You had the braille. Does it matter? Does it change the level of your duty to your client, whether they're smart or dumb, old or young, tall, fat? Does it matter? Doesn't matter. The 4 steps cures that, because you confirm that you spotted the issue. You confirm that you made the referral. You confirm that you instructed them to get back to you. further guidance. It doesn't matter. I don't care what issue you got, kids.
And if there's a
It's-
level of competency, then you need to find somebody, right, that
Well-
we could appoint that would be competent.
Take the language thing, that comes up a lot. If the old folks don't speak they got kids, okay, or they have a cousin. They get along in the world somehow. So to the extent that you enable lame behavior, that's up to you. You accept that responsibility. If you insist that the client be competent, the chances of them being competent are better. But that's why you get paid the big bucks. You guys are skillful. Remember that your duty is fiduciary. Remember what that means. It's not just doing a better job, right? It's obedience, loyalty, diligence, confidentiality, accounting, reasonable care. And document that you did your job. Run the spell check. You've been a great audience. Thank you very much.
You're running a similar question.